What's up, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? Spagardi, Super Whatever, Kiro, it's Serpent, Omar, what's up? How y'all doing today? Why does everybody stream when you're going to sleep? Sorry, man. If the world was only flat, we'd all be in the same time zone, you know? Get this going here. I want to get Prime 1 through 3 knocked out today here on stream. Was originally going to do them all, but my wife is getting ready to head on a little trip to see her mama next week here, and she wants me to take her to go pick up a few things. Yankee Islander, what's up? Lapakai, hello. Anyway, I'm on US West. Anybody that wants to hop on in, feel free. I'm gonna do primes 1 through 3. Well, awesome there, Face. Glad you enjoyed. Let's see. So, Prime 1, of course, we got Chrome Enemies, Kobold Blinking, and Gridlock's Horde. Why don't we go ahead and, where do we want to start? Let's just start off with Gribs. I want to make a custom map, though. I don't like joining through that, that section. Start off with Gribs. It's going to be public. Maybe I can spell at some point today. Geek Illustrator, what's going on? Xbox confirmed bug. Oh yeah, with the bag updates, that's a known thing. I think they just let it fly. The shard packs are supposed to be on sale. There are sales going on in game, so all that is there. But the bag upgrade thing is something buggy for sure. They know about it, but they didn't, you know, they weren't in a big rush to get it fixed, so I'm assuming they just said let it fly. See, is it better to farm reroll tokens or farm a map that drops good 10 out of 10 mods? Well, I mean, that's the thing, is when you're farming reroll tokens, you're also farming 10 out of 10 mods. So, you know, you can look at it that way. I mean, if mods are your concern and that's the stage of the game where you're at, then yeah, that would be the thing to do. Farm reroll tokens and also farm the loot. So farm the reroll tokens in the highest tier that you're capable of clearing to make sure you're getting high tier mods as well. We do the old, I think we can. You have 500 IQ. Outstanding. Let's see. I think we're good. I don't think we need anything else for flyers. Here, I'll do this just in case. What do I even have on this? Yeah, that'll work. We'll do that as a just in case for the flyers. But yeah, remember that the base game's progression. See, a lot of people get focused on the mods too quick. And remember that the base progression of the game is shards. You really don't need any mods prior to, say, like floor 100. I mean, mods are gonna help things, but they're not gonna solve problems for you. Shards solve problems. You know, so everyone, I mean, if you're yet to push up into a decent Onslaught floor, you know, it's all about the shards. Go get all the shards you need for all your stuff. You know, it's really going to be in your best interest. You know, between the hyper shards, the regular shards. Yeah, I mean, destruction, defense rate, deadly strikes, those shards are game changers. Mods, there's not many mods that are game changers. There's mods that really add to your game quite a bit, but there's not a whole lot of mods that make it like an entirely different game, and that's what shards do. Who we got anyway? We got TTV, Drascus, and Artie. We got that delay. These Lady Orcs just do not want to come out. You don't need gilded shards for mastery. All you need is the correct shards. Mastery's not hard. Mastery is just different. You have to do what you're told, you know? It tells you to do this, so do that. You know, the hard part about mastery for me personally is like not upgrading or not repairing or whatever on a map where that's the mastery challenge. Just because habits, you know, you do it so much. Old habits are hard to break. Bosses will get past, or they could. I don't think they will on this map, but just because you got a strong build, I mean, you shouldn't, you should still pay attention, you know. Mastery wasn't tough, geek. You were just impatient and wanted to get the maps done in 6 minutes. I mean, if you go into Mastery expecting it to be like doing an expedition, then yeah, I mean, comparatively it's tough, but it's just all about following the directions, and don't be, you know, on like the build timer ones, where you've only got 30-second build time. Go in and practice the build. You know, ignore the build time, and get the build that you want laid out. And then run it again, and try to get all of your defenses down in the time frame, you know. Ascension just comes naturally. There's no real reason to ever farm Ascension. Ascension is just going to come with, you know, playing the game, just doing everything in the game. I mean, once you get over the hump, you know, you need those 20 points in defense rate. Ideally, 20 points in defense crit chance. I do as well, Geek. I was actually hoping that that was what Prime Incursion... I mean, I'm happy with Prime Incursions. I think they did a good job with them, but that's what I was hoping was going to happen, was some kind of a rework to Mastery Mode. The problem with it right now is it's like an achievement thing. A lot of time went into Mastery to put it together. I mean, Mark worked on Mastery for months and months and months. And then it's a one-shot gameplay mode. You know, you go through and clear it once and you're done. Best way to get Defender medals is just play. Reroll your daily quests if you get low ones, and always do the weekly. Defender medals start going up really fast the second you stop looking at them. When you're staring at it constantly, that's when it feels like they're never moving. You know, if you just ignore them, you know, I mean, everybody wants that first hero unlock, and that's understandable, as with any game, you know. But it's gonna get there. It's gonna get there quick. I mean, within a couple of weeks. You know, people will tell you to do Demon's Lair because it's so quick, but like the worst thing you can do in a grind game is grind one individual thing. Demon's Lair isn't rewarding enough in the other aspects of the game to grind. I mean, if you're in a point where defender medals are what you want to unlock a new hero, then you're probably also in the point where you need better loot. And you need, you know, loot and shards and all the goodies. You know, some mods, and you're just not going to get gear from Demon's Lair. Whether it be a 3-minute map or not. It's actually the fastest gold as well, if you can do it in under 3 minutes. But like I said, it's a grind. It's a massive free-to-play grind game, so it's 100% about optimizing your time. Get as many things knocked out at the same time as you can. You know, it's just the smartest way to go. Well, I went and farmed all the weapons. It depends on if you're a collector or not. Or if you're, like, in a point... I mean, you've already beaten the game, Geek. Any reason that you're still playing it right now is because you're an addict. Get over it, man. I mean, you've won. You've already done everything. You know, play a different game. It's the same thing with me. I mean, I've beaten the game already. You know, there's nothing to do. So you can either be a collector and get all the things, or just move on. Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, I've got, between all the platforms, I've got over 10,000 hours in DD2. I mean, that would definitely be a serious sign of addiction. No doubt at all. The weapons you get from Incursions are 500 defender medals. The prime Incursion weapons that you should be shooting for are the Chaos 8 ones. The ones that are defender medals, they're all trash. I mean, there's just no reason to use them. The Shadow Flame knife is probably the only one that you can really argue, or one of the only ones you can really argue makes for a effective build. And it's really, really low DPS, and that's, you know, the problem now is the you know, for climbing Onslaught, if you want to challenge yourself, if you're not playing the game to just have fun and collect all the things, and you want to challenge yourself and keep pushing up and up and up and up in Onslaught, or if you're motivated by the leaderboard systems or whatever, then the Mystic is not going to be as viable for you because you just don't have the stopping power. You would have to play swap builds, which I don't really care for swap builds. Terminator. Terminator's trolling y'all, guys. He knows exactly what game it is. He's got about 600 million hours played. 600 million hours. That's a lot of hours, let me tell you. But yeah, anyway, the Mystic is really, this build is low DPS, but high damage output, as the projectiles are just bouncing around over the whole map. Even though single target, its DPS output is just straight up terrible. It's doing that terrible amount of DPS to like everything on the map. Oh, it does, Geek. It does. You just need to not look at it. Alright, well, there's map number 1. Alright, can't go next map, so we'll just have to head out to town here. I just auto-loot everything, personally. I sell everything. There's a lot of people that don't pick up greens and stuff like that. I sell it all. It's all gold to me. Sadly, just not much loot, you know? Here's that Liberty Sword. Shame it's got ability power on it. Oops. Nothing good. That's the problem with primes, is there's just no loot. You're going for amps or that specific item. You know, that specific prime Chaos 8 weapon. But the loot is just awful. Alright, chrome enemies. Let's do it. What's going on there, Demon Child? How you doing? I'm really hoping we get some sort of a beta update soon. I'm finally, I think, gonna go through and do my what I like and what I hate video about the beta, about DDA beta. I've been holding off as long as possible to try to see as much of the content as I can. And once you start doing AP resets, you should spam them. You do one big Onslaught push, then you do all your AP resets. Then you take all your newfound power and you try to beat the game. That's the general progression path. Yeah, I know Petrify doesn't work, but you know what? Slows do. And the build is not based off of petrifying, the build is based off of massive reflect beam damage. So, even though Petrify doesn't work, the build still works. Because it's also got double stacks of slow in the mix. Alright, what else? I think we're good. You're hitting resets after you get to floor 800? Well, how many resets have you already done, Geek? You've done a bunch, haven't you? Well, I actually debated on doing resets again. But at this point, I'm hoping, I know what'll happen. The second I start doing AP resets, I'll lose all that stuff. So much Chaos 8 stuff, you know? Is why I don't want to do them. But, if I was going to do them, I would have to do a lot of resets to have all the materials needed afterwards. What's going on, Dark Phoenix? I mean, I would have to do 30 more, 40 more, 50 more resets. And there's not enough time to do that before DDA hits. And with my luck, what will happen is the second I reset, then there will be an update for the DDA beta that I'm going to want to play. You know? So it's one of those crappy situations. I finally started re-rolling a poison mod to throw on my sky guards. I just don't. I don't have a huge sense of urgency with doing it, so I'm gonna make sure that I put a 10 out of 10 on it. Even though with poison, that's like the quality of the mod just doesn't really matter. Well, I'm not. Like I said, DDA will be here in hopefully in a month. And I'm going to be going very, very hard on DDA. Like many hours a day. I'm going to be live streaming so much that you guys are just sick of listening to me. God would just, dude, just turn it off. It's going to be one of those situations. Many hours a day. DDA is the next Dungeon Defenders game. It releases next month. Dungeon Defenders Awakened. I'm not gonna do that. That's too much DU for me personally. I'm gonna go poison Skyguard just to handle the controlled burn lanes and stuff too. And the bullet sponge lanes. One tick of the poison removes the bullet sponge. And then I'll keep the earth on my snakes for situations where I want to petrify. But I just, like, you know, I'm done with Onslaught. I have no motivation to continue in Onslaught. No, it's not free. Thank God. DD2 was the king of nickel and dime with that inventory. I spent so much money on this free-to-play game, you wouldn't believe it. I'm looking forward to having a regular game. You buy it and you own it and you unlock all the stuff and there's no microtransactions. I can't wait to get more of that in my life again. Free-to-play games they have the benefit of you being able to check the game out without spending any money on them. But shy of Warframe, I mean, Destiny 2 has a pretty good free-to-play model now. I mean, you can get a lot of quality game hours, lots of hours of enjoyment out of Destiny 2, 100% free-to-play. But it doesn't have those inconveniences like inventory. And that's one of the things that just did it in. I'll end up doing more Onslaught just to showcase other builds. Like I want to do a big proton heavy build soon. Well, I mean, if I'm going to do it, there's no point in me redoing floor 500. I might as well do 501, you know. Well, many players will, Omar. It's going to bring a lot of players back to the world of Dungeon Defenders. You got to realize that Dungeon Defenders 1 had a lot of players. Being a pay-to-play game, and it's had just as many downloads as DD2 has. And DD2's free-to-play. I mean, DD2 should be like 5 times higher, right? I don't know. It's good enough to win matches. That's all that matters, isn't it, Face? Yeah, there's been a lot of changes over the years, Melon, that's for sure. I don't know, because that's not really anything I care about. You get the most out of your defenses you can. The number is insignificant. You're winning or you're losing. That's the, you know, it's binary. 0 or 1. 0 you lose, 1 you won. Oh no, let's try to upgrade one. I'll look. I don't even know if I have it set up for damage right now. Got a siege rolling. A rolling. Oh! Let me jump off this ledge real quick. You use the Dryad tree? I don't really see the point of that, unless you're going to be DPSing it. I mean, why would you put the tree in? Let's see. It's at 7.1 mil at tier 5. Is it set up for damage, though? No, it's not even set up for damage. 10.1 mil. But my Boostar is also not set up for damage either. It's set up for crowd control. The amount of damage that your defense puts out is only important when you're in the tavern or in town on the target dummy flexing. It just doesn't. In the map, what matters is winning the map, not how much damage each individual damage per second. You know, you guys know what I'm saying. Don't be the king of the target dummy. You know, that stuff doesn't matter. You see a lot of that on a lot of the spreadsheets that different DD2 players have put out. It's all theoretical stuff, and they can't actually do it in-game. That, if you can't do something in-game, it doesn't matter what a spreadsheet says. You know? Instant slow. Why is there instant slow? Is that a bug I'm not aware of? The tree shouldn't be slowing anything. Oh, you're giving them a target to throw at. I get you. Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I haven't gotten to a point where the frost lanes were hard enough to worry about it. But yeah, I mean, that's a valid strat. For sure. You can re-roll mods, or you can find new ones, Keegan. That's pretty much the only option. Nothing any good. Alright, what do we have left in Prime 1? We had Bling King, I believe, right? Let's do it. All your lanes are frosty? Yeah. That's what Onslaught is. It's not about doing different things to challenge yourself. High Onslaught is how to beat Cyborgs and Frost lanes while being spammed with Headstrong and Controlled Burn mutators. That's all Onslaught is. It's one of the things that turns me away from it so much. It makes me uninterested in playing it. I mean, that's all you see, you know? It doesn't matter what other people think, Angus. It's you win or you lose. That's what matters. If you're winning maps, you're doing something right. You know, definitely never be concerned. It's a non-competitive game. What other people think means nothing. Do you, you know, set up the way you want to set up, and if you're winning maps, then you're doing a great job. People always like to turn these non-competitive games into competitive games, and that's just not what they are, you know. What somebody else does just doesn't affect you at all. You know, how I do my builds, I mean, I put out all the videos and all that, but it's by far not the only way to get it done, you know. There's many, many ways to win the game, and as long as you're winning, you are doing it right. worried about this flame aura. Ah, nah, there's plenty of room on that. What am I talking about? Extra derpy reflect beam that time. Crap. Do I have the right proton down? I do. Is any heroes better than the others? No. The best builders and the best defenses you will have are the defenses that you have set up. Bring this back to like here. So the defenses that you have that have all the right shards and a good selection of mods are going to be your best defenses. It's just, you know, use the stuff you want to use. You don't have to concern yourself with strict rule sets until you're in super high Onslaught. And then you don't even really either. I mean, that Floor 500 video, I think, shows that you can beat it with anything. I mean, let's be honest here. When you guys voted on it, you picked what you thought would be the toughest to win the map with. Nobody said, hey, let's hook Juice up with an EV2 and a monk. Oh no. You guys picked what you thought would be the toughest combination, and it took a few tries, but I was able to beat it, you know? And anybody can do that. You just have to, have the setups. You know, shards first, then mods. But there is no perfect. Their goal is the thing. Perfect doesn't exist. You win or you lose. If you win, did you do it perfect? Well, you won. You couldn't have gotten a better result. You know? So, I mean, I guess if you look at it that way, if you got a build and it worked, then it was perfect. I mean, it was perfect for the challenge that you're faced with, you know? Nah, I got no interest in doing one hero stuff. That would be called no fun. You know, give me a challenge of doing something using all the heroes, not one hero. One hero is bleh. If I'm going to do that, I'll go play Warframe and run around on my one frame. And shoot everything. Grinding Defender medals is not really a thing. Just reroll your dailies every day, always do the weeklies, and play the game. And you'll have a hero very, very quickly. I played Warframe quite a bit in the past, but I haven't played in a while. I've been a little bit bummed out by the promises of Railjack for years, and then finally just now getting it. And then once we got it, it's just not what I thought it was going to be. So, I mean, everybody's telling me it's super fun and I need to get over it and hop in and check it out. But I've yet to do so. I was hoping it was going to be more flying stuff. I want to fly around. I mean, the boarding other people's ships thing is cool and all. But I don't know. I thought it was going to be more space combat type stuff. I wish that there was more to do with the Archwings. Warframe's a great game. If you played one day and uninstalled it, you missed out. It's probably got the best free-to-play game model of any free-to-play game made. Definitely a great game. Jeez, where the heck are they all at? I mean, it's got definitely got the fairest player-sided free-to-play game model. I proved that to myself during when Fortuna launched, and how much platinum I made through fishing. I mean, literally like hundreds of dollars worth of platinum I made just through fishing in one weekend. Now, that was obviously during a special event, so to speak. There was a big game update, but I grinded it out, and I, you know, made a ton of platinum. I mean, things are always going to be getting nerfed and rebalanced. I mean, I don't have any problem with DE the way things have been nerfed. I mean, they get around to buffing things, but you got to realize, since they do have that free-to-play model that's so enticing, they have to put out frames. If they're not putting out new frames almost constantly, then they're just not going to make money, you know? So that's the one downside, I think, about Warframe is they keep giving you more ways to do the same stuff. That's like my biggest complaint about Warframe. Instead of getting new content, you get more ways to do old things. And I mean, I understand that goes with the territory. They need those people that are dropping that $139 every 3 months on a new Prime. You know, they need that income, that revenue. I really liked Borderlands, all the Borderlands games. Oops, did it not drop off? I used to get into the Battlefield games, but I haven't played any of them in a long time. I mean, Borderlands is a great franchise. It's one of my favorite game franchises of all time. Just super fun, really good story. I mean, even they're down, you know, the Borderlands games that people didn't like as much, like the pre-sequel or whatever. It was still good. It's just people wanted more out of it, you know, which is understandable. I mean, we all always want more. I haven't played the new DLC yet, but I grinded Borderlands 3 a little bit too hard when it first came out. And it ended up taking away, well, it took away from multiplayer big time with me. And it ended up taking away from just my overall experience. I grinded it too hard, so I had all the stuff. I had, you know, every piece of gear anointed already. So when I had friends that were, okay, you know, to a point where, okay, they're ready to farm this boss or do this or whatever, I had already done it just so much that I was, you know, I was burnt out on it. So I've been giving it a nice little break. I'm probably gonna wait until one more DLC comes out, maybe, and then go through and do both of them. Well, I mean, DD2, it's different. I mean, I've logged massive amounts of hours in DD2, but it's also over a long period of time. A lot of people don't realize exactly how long I've been playing DD2. I mean, literally since the very first day it was playable. You know, the very first public alpha test, or the public pre-alpha test I played, you know, I was in right on day one. I like them, but I don't like them enough to play them a lot. I mean, they're fun, little breaks. Like, I can pop into Fortnite or whatever and play a couple of matches anytime, but I don't, it's not a game that I can play over the course of hours. It just, I don't know, it loses some of its pizzazz for me. It actually hurts my channel that I don't play those games, because a lot of people like to watch that stuff, you know? It sucks too. It finally, Battlefront 2 was a PvP game, or I mean, obviously it had PvE as well, but it was a PvP game that I really, really enjoyed that Starfighter mode, and then they had to EA all over it, and it made it so, you know, everybody hated it. I could grind that Starfighter mode for hours and hours and hours and hours, but nobody will watch it. You know. So, I mean, I don't want to play stuff that nobody wants to... I want to at least play something that y'all want to watch. Alright, that is Prime 1 all wrapped up. So, head on off to Prime 2. Big streamers on Twitch make a lot of money from Fortnite. Small streamers on Twitch don't make crap. You're not going to be big at a game like that unless you're really, really good at it. People aren't going to just watch you play Battle Royale and come in, you know, 20th place every map. I mean, anybody can do that, right? You have to either be good, or be entertaining, you know? And I'm not good or entertaining. I don't know why I'm even looking. I don't really expect to get anything today. There's just not enough loot. What's going on there, Alexander? So what do we have here for Prime 2? Prime 2 is Demon Slayer, Wyvern Enthusiast, and Forest Poachers. Just start right with Wyvern Enthusiast and get after it. I get more viewers on YouTube than on Twitch, Omar. I'm going to be streaming more on Twitch when DD2 launches because it's got Twitch integration. But my viewer base is on YouTube, not on Twitch. So Twitch is not better. Twitch or YouTube or Mixer or whatever, it depends on where your following is. One is not better than the other. I mean, realistically, depending on, you know, most people would disagree with this, but although Twitch has more people actively watching live streams, for a small channel, your chances of getting noticed are way greater on YouTube than on Twitch. Because YouTube has massive, massive, massive amounts of more overall traffic than Twitch does. Like many times more. The thing Twitch has got going for it is Amazon Prime. That is literally the only reason that would make Twitch better for literally any streamer. Over having the same following on YouTube. And that's a big deal, you know, a way for people to support the channel without directly, monetarily, without having to spend anything out of pocket. It's a big deal. Alright, I think we're good. I'll just slap that in the middle, just in case any flyers creep. Well, this is my job, Omar, so yeah. I've been a YouTube partner for many years. I mean, with that regard, I'm very biased. You know, I mean, I've just been doing YouTube for a lot longer. But in addition to that, if I stream something that gets 100 viewers on YouTube, that same stream is only going to get 25 viewers on Twitch. You know? But on that same note, one Amazon Prime subscription makes up for an awful lot. So it's Amazon Prime, that is a huge thing for Twitch. My average on Twitch is higher than 25. It's not high enough to make Twitch partner, but it's higher than that. I mean, I like Twitch. I think Twitch is doing a lot of really good things, but you know, like I said, it comes down to, do I want to eat tonight or not? You know, and YouTube is better for me in that regard. You don't see Fortnite at the top anymore. Ever since Ninja and who else left? There was another, or Shroud. Shroud is big. He wasn't necessarily Fortnite, or Fortnite only. You get your DPS through shards and mods. Basic. If you've got all the right shards, and you've got a good quality set of mods on it, then, I mean, you're there. There's, you know, from there you can just fine tune it for what you specifically are looking to get out of that defense. What's going on there, Icos? But yeah, I mean, I'm going to be streaming, especially if this Copa thing hits me. If the Copa thing hits me very hard, then pretty much all of my streams are going to be going to Twitch or Mixer. But it's too soon to really tell. Alright, Omar, take it easy. Thanks for swinging by. Same thing with me there, Icos. I don't think mine is, like, the flu is going around pretty heavy out here. I don't want to jinx myself, so I'm not going to talk about it. But yeah, it's been super heavy in Washington. I'm just the master of jinxing myself. All I have to say is I don't have it, and instantly I get it. Well, I mean, if you're in Chaos 6, then you just answered your question, basic. Go to Chaos 7. That's where you'll get stronger. Chaos 6, you should only do, like, maybe 1 or 2 runs of. You don't have to sit there and grind Chaos 6. I don't really get into political talk like that. I mean, shit's going down. I mean, it's not a very, very pretty thing, you know? If you can beat a few bosses, then you should be doing Chaos 7. It's not about winning the map there, Alexander. It's about getting upgrades. And if you can beat the first boss that rolls out in Chaos 7, then you're better off than doing Chaos 6. So if you can beat Wave 2 in Chaos 7, you should continue to go on into Chaos 7 and do Wave 2. What's going on, Tim? How you doing? Just doing the grind. That's fair. What's going on there, Pollo? I wanted to play some 7 Days to Die today, too. I've been doing a lot of work on that big Alpha 18 base that Omni and I were working on. Omni is having trouble running it because we screwed up. We picked the largest world size. And it's... the largest world size is just too big. The game is not optimized enough to run it smoothly, even on a decent PC, you know? So, I mean, I'm still working on that world, but boy, it gets laggy as a mofo. Every blood moon, you know, every horde night is just frames drop through the floor. I've heard of it, John. I'm assuming it was just back-end maintenance. There was no patch or anything that I saw. Unless there was a patch that ran and I didn't even realize. You never know. I'm guessing it was probably just back-end server-side maintenance, though. Wrong button. Heal with no ability power ain't gonna get me too far. There we go. Oh, nice, John. Resetting is fun at first. It gets pretty grindy. Just like climbing Onslaught gets grindy. Doing AP resets is really fun at first. And then, I mean, it's even fun, like, pushing yourself and seeing how fast you can get a reset done. My quickest right now in the current system is like 4 hours and 15 minutes for a full AP reset. What about Cyborg's there, Face? Don't really understand the question. Oh, basic. You're answering basic, I see. Well, then, I mean, you answered your own question, basic. If you're struggling with enemies that disable ground traps, auras, and nodes, it's cyborgs, not Borgs. But if you're struggling with enemies that disable ground traps, auras, and nodes, then the natural choice is don't use ground traps, auras, and nodes. I mean, it's just a basic counter, you know? If you want to use ground traps, auras, and nodes, then you have to set up for it. But if you're not setting up for it, then you're just going right against the system. I've been checking markets like 3 times a day now on every server. Pretty consistently, and it's been about a week, I want to say, since I've seen anyone selling pristine moats. I've seen some for sale, but they were already sold, you know. Alright, what next? Let's see. Wyvern Enthusiast, Forest Poachers. You just got to set up for them. I mean, once you're set up for them, then they're just another orc, you know. Just not a big deal. But that's the problem in a game that's all about counters. Once you figure out all the counters, you basically won, right? I mean, there's nothing in the game that you can't do once you have everything set up to counter everything. But as far as like prolonging the life, I mean, DD2's got a lot of hours into it now. I mean, it's a big grind game. I spent a little too much here. It's alright. We'll spend a little too much on the outside lands. You know, DD2's a big old grind game, but if they wanted to get more out of it, I mean, a lot of people would disagree with me here, but a lot of people really enjoyed the game when it was in the nightmare stages, when there wasn't any counters. It was like DD1 more. It was all about the gear, you know. You get the gear with the perfect passives on it, is what you went for back then. And if you were able to do that, then, you know, you were going to win. But it almost makes me think that DD2 would have had more playable lifespan out of it for a lot of players if when they did new updates, instead of giving us just different game modes with no increase really in loot. I mean, I know it's just a vanilla, kind of a vanilla gameplay model, but look at World of Warcraft, for example. They do a major expansion, they raise the level cap, they give you better loot. You know, and it inspires everybody to go through and regrind everything again. Check your shop. Yep. I'll have to check it in a minute. Alrighty. Will do, will do. I mean, or even with the trials, you know, even if you went with the hard counters like we got now, if they would have done Chaos 8, Chaos 9, Chaos 10, you know, and released them, you know, say every 3 months put out another Chaos tier. Well, yeah, granted, in a couple of years, we would have ended up being up to Chaos 20. But I think there'd be more people playing it. I really do. One of the things that Trendy back in the day always tried to do is they tried to do a lot of their own thing. They tried to not copy-paste other games, you know? And you gotta commend them for that. But when you're coming up with your own game systems every single time, you're gonna have stuff not appeal to people, you know, because it's not a proven, it's something new. It's not a proven game mode or gameplay style or whatever. So they definitely had some flops, especially with DD2. You know, DD2 has had a lot of good and the bad. But I mean, overall, if you look at the amount of time and amount of play you can get out of DD2, it's huge. You know, a free-to-play game that you can play for 1,000 hours plus. Well, all of those aren't... There used to be an endless... Onslaught used to be endless. More people liked it then. But the problem... The problem with Onslaught was... Sweet. Thank you very much. The problem with Onslaught in the old system is it wasn't super rewarding. There was... you know, you could get golden pets out of it, which was cool, but that's just a novelty thing, you know? And you could get basic sets of gear on heroes, because there was just a ton of loot that dropped. So you could really get a good basic set of gear on heroes. But it wasn't really a... it was more a how much can your machine handle. It wasn't... You know, it wasn't overly difficult. Once you set up, you were good, you know? Once you had your build dialed in, you could let it run all night and just go to sleep. You know? And a lot of people loved that. A lot of people did that. I know quite a few people with many, many, many hours of gameplay while they were in bed. From the old Onslaught mode. Well, and that's where the game being designed by an investment company comes in, basic. Getting the shards that you want is supposed to be extremely irritating because it's going to encourage you to spend real money. And that's all that an investment company is going to care about. They're not going to care about, is it a game function that people will enjoy? Is it a game function that will generate revenue? Shards are 100% that. They are free-to-play monetization. That's all shards are. So it was a way to add on. They got the hard cap. You got what's the greatest quality of life in DD2? It's more inventory space, right? Having as much inventory space as you can in just any game is just such a wonderful thing. Well, so it's got the monetization end for inventory space. And that's great because, you know, although inventory space is the ultimate convenience, you can play the game without it. It just sucks. And then reducing the inventory space. You know, like right now, a new player that starts today only gets one bag slot. I mean, that's just rough. And it just encourages you to spend more money, you know? Oh shit, we're gonna lose Quab here? No, Quab is saved. So yeah, I mean, in that regard, DD2 started off with a really fair gameplay model. But one of the struggles DD2 had is it wasn't getting as many. It had a lot of veteran players that were continuing to play it, but there weren't necessarily a large influx of new players. In a free-to-play game, I mean, obviously, I'm not an accountant for a development company of a company that makes free-to-play games, so I'm just guessing here. But you have to have a constant flow of income, right? If you don't have money constantly coming in, then as a company you will fail. That's just life. Well, DD2, with the inventory-based model, the only way the profitability is going to continue with a setup like that is if there's a lot of new players coming to the game. Like, people coming and going constantly would be the dream setup in that regard. Well, if you don't get a large number of players coming and going constantly, then you have to add in another layer of monetization. And first we got Defender Pack. Well, actually, first we got shards. And then the Defender Packs. You know, and the Defender Packs are awesome. They add massive cosmetics, you know. So nothing wrong with that. We got double Steinered here. Holy crap. Or do you always get double Steinered here? Crap, my upgrade wasn't done yet. I canceled it. Nice scratch, James. That's awesome. Always nice finding a good 10 out of 10 mod. I haven't found an actual good 10 out of 10 in a long time. I mean, I found lots of 10 out of 10s, but none of them that are like one of those hot items. This lane jacked up a little bit here. These guys are pushing pretty hard here on this one. Yeah, the CC from it's really strong. I'm going to be doing a lot of a bunch of other CC alternative videos over the next few days. The Christmas gifts are nice. I'm hoping that tree lasts a minute or two. Needs more presents. Sturgis the Falconer. Oh no. Fell through. Alright, Puyo, take it easy. Stay safe, man. I'm assuming you're in Puerto Rico with the earthquakes. But hopefully all is well. Watch my step. One of these days I'll learn to quit stepping off ledges. Probably won't be today, though. Probably not. I'll be falling off maps in every game I play forever. Well, it's on a 24-hour clock, basic, so it resets the same time. As soon as you loot the gift, that's the time the gift will reset. It would be nice if it was on a daily reset. Well, the answer there is both. face. They work so wonderfully together. Ridiculously overpowered combined. Coming on, Kragus. How you doing? I think you're probably right, Tim. I do think you're probably right. Alright, clear out some of the junk. See if I got anything. Nothing. Can't fall asleep. That's fair. Yeah, I started rolling this. I'm going to be extra stubborn since I don't really care about it. And I'm not going to put it on my Sky Guards unless I get a 10 out of 10. I've got like 150 rerolls into it now. Terrible. Man, that's a lot of reroll tokens in mats just for EPing, isn't it? That's too much. I've got a problem. Alright, so what next? Demon's Lair, I think, right? I missed it once. Tim. That's all it takes. Once you miss one, you won't miss another one. Oops. What do we get? We got Demon's Lair. It was on my Lightning Strike auras. I'm assuming it was probably anti-melee. I'm not positive. But yeah, I rolled past one and it makes you kick yourself. It's quite frustrating. You won't get anything for doing just one. You have to complete the whole region to get a hyper shard. Their face. How long does the prime levels be out? Well, they came out one at a time, or one prime zone at a time. We got two the very first week they came out, and then after that it was like one map at a time. It was very, very slow. A slow roll. Oops. They started coming out, what? Like August or September or something like that? And it took until it was into November when the last one finally launched. Remember, y'all, don't nuke the boss. Don't nuke the boss. Prime Incursions. List them. You get a second set of hyper shards, and they're basically higher variant, higher than Chaos 7 variant of some of the boss fights in the Incursion maps. I don't even hold down my right click anymore. I just tap it. Just to make sure that it doesn't get nuked. There's no release date for DDA at all on any platform. All we know is February. We haven't heard any more info at all. Oop, he's already down. Or no, that was the exclamation point from another Lava Guardian coming out. I love the EV2, I really do. Theoden! Holy crapola, man. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it a ton. Goodbye, Mr. Lava Guardian. Oh, they're so squishy here. Can't say the same for Onslaught. Oh, I didn't realize somebody had already grabbed it. You guys done went and did the thing. The EV2 is awesome. I love her. Ha! I did it, y'all. I landed in the lava. Alright, so what? Now it's off to Prime 3. Got a few more people in town this time. Let's take a peek around. No. Alright, so what do we got in Prime 3? We got Malthius and Power Surge. Let's do Malthius first, and then if we have enough time, I'll do Power Surge a couple of times. As I know some people were asking for that one. Where are you at, Malthius? Let's do it. They scale up. Yeah, Prime Incursions there, Dark, is where you get your second hyper shards. The Prime Incursions start off really easy. It's just barely above Chaos 7 at the start, and then it goes up to like floor 400-ish difficulty by the end. But remember, floor 400 with no mutators is pretty easy. So, I mean, if you could do, say, floor 250 in Onslaught now, I'm pretty sure you'd be able to solo every one of the Prime Incursions. This map is a little bit more generous with the DU. Spend a little more. I'm just doing the three primes today, basic. Like I said, I got some real life stuff I gotta attend to with the wife here. She's headed to Mexico next week to visit her mom. And we've got to get some things in order before she heads out. See, let's get a little flyer defense in. At least 50 left. Well, I mean, we could just do this and throw in a little more lightning strike up front. And I think we good. Oh, I'll be streaming quite a bit while she's gone. Theoden. I'll be doing a lot of, actually I haven't decided whether or not I want to try to stay up earlier or get up, either sleep in or get up early. If I get up early on days and start streaming earlier, then I'll have to go to bed earlier. But if I sleep in, then of course I'll be able to stay up later. So yeah, there's going to be lots of stuff going next week for sure. She will. Her mom is selling her house down there. She's ready to move back to the U.S. and my wife is helping her get some things in order with all that. I'm 46. There, Dark. I played on the PS4 as my main account for about a year, several years ago. I don't like playing it on the PS4 now because it runs so bad. Yeah, I watch a decent amount of film and TV shows. I mean, not a ton, but it's pretty, a pretty normal part of my life if there's a good show or whatever. And all the movies, all the good movies. There should be some good shows starting back up soon. Vikings started back up. That's a pretty decent show. There hasn't been, other than Star Wars, The Joker, I enjoyed. There hasn't been a whole lot of movies over the last several months, I don't think. Yeah, I've seen Edge of Tomorrow. Bad Boys 3. I didn't even know there was going to be a Bad Boys 3. What's going on, Ice Fox? It's fun when it's all over. Moving sucks, but once you're done with it, it's nice. I'm going to be moving myself soon. They're hoping for April or May now. I know that in April, my wife and her mom are going over to Spokane to look at houses. You know, which is a good thing. I mean, it sucks that the mother-in-law factor is in there, you know. I mean, it doesn't suck. She's a nice person. It just sucks that relying on somebody else instead of just my wife and I, but, you know. Gotta do what you gotta do. No clue. I would guess you're between the ages of 16 and 44. That makes up 95% of my YouTube demographics. So you're in that bracket, would be my guess. The Copa thing, man, I feel for some of the YouTube channels that have the young viewer base. Or channels that specialize in, like, children's content. I don't know, I could see a lot of people leaving YouTube over this, though, and moving over to other platforms. It's a big deal. Wow, that's a lot of grave infection sitting there. I'll switch over to a Sparkle Party pet for Power Surge. I think I've got one sitting in my bags. I should. See ya, Malthius. Get wrecked. Armageddon. Boy, there was a day where that was an awesome weapon. Sadly, that day is long gone. Turning 43 at the end of this month. Nice. Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday early there, Kragus. Yeah, definitely, Theta, no doubt. What do I think about Call of Duty? I think I had a lot of fun with Call of Duty back in the day. It just became too much of the same thing. I mean, it's obviously a good game. Tons and tons and tons of people play it and enjoy it. Every one that comes out. Alright. The Power Surge up next. Such a bummer. Never any loot. I would probably get into those types of games more if there was more campaign in them. I enjoy the PvP, but in small doses. I gotta switch stuff around here, huh? I like my PvP in small doses for sure. Cyclone, where is Sparkle Party? Do I really not have a Sparkle Party pet sitting here? But I've got a Narwagon sitting there? How is that? Am I missing it? Or is it on somebody else, maybe? Make sure it's not sitting in a stray bag. No, it's not. It must be on somebody else. Let's see. Who's got the Sparkle Party? Dang it. Man, I hope I didn't accidentally sell that. That would really suck. That guy could have Sparkle Party as one of the options. Man, what the hell? Look at all the Dragoliches just sitting and never being used. It's terrible. Soon to be deleted. I don't remember what that's all about. Alright, what the heck, man? How do I not have a Sparkle Party pet just sitting here? Oops. I had a... What's that? Dragoleg. Oh man, I got a bad feeling I may have sold my Sparkle Party pet. Man, that sucks. I put it in a bad spot, or I'm just missing it and overlooking it. This guy has the potential to get Sparkle Party. Not seeing any cats there. Man, I could have swore I had it on an Auto Meow too. I tell you what, I'm gonna re-roll this one. I don't need another Auto Meow with Cyclone on it. Yep. No reroll tokens. What the heck? Everything's in the bank. Damn it. How much longer I got on that dang tree? 5 hours. Oof. Alright, let's see. I mean, how could I have gotten rid of my Sparkle Party pet? Here we go. Alright, we got some Sparkle Party going on now. Sweet. Oh, I've got lots and lots of stuff. I've got one of everything, Kragus. Oh, some of the stuff I didn't save more than one. But I've got one of everything. Alright, we were doing Power Surge. So here's the deal with Power Surge, y'all. You either need to drop the mana or control a lane. One of the two. I'm good with building the whole map if people drop the mana. In fact, we're going to name this map Drop Mana or Take Lane. So either drop the mana or take a lane. One of the two. I don't even think I've used one of those popcorn machines in years. I've got a few stacks of them, though. Been holding them the whole time and never using them, thinking that at one point there was going to be higher end content coming out. Alright, well, I'll take this lane. I'll take these 2 lanes, actually. Somebody's building proton beams and stuff. Whatever works. Protons are a pain in the butt to place, though. Yeah, I've got one. The salves, I only saved one. I've got one of each. I tell you where I've got a lot of that stuff is on PlayStation. My PlayStation account has so much of that stuff. It's just absurd. Like a full inventory page of nothing but carnival stuff. Oh crap, I forgot about the flyers. Oops. I've got every golden pet. Or, no, actually, that's not true. I'm missing one. I'm missing that Sodium Champion pet that was a remote playtesting group pet. But yeah, on the PlayStation, I've got all that stuff, and I just never did anything with it. I need to go through my PlayStation account at some point and look at what all I have, because I played that account a lot. It was just, I played it a lot way back in the day. So I've got a lot of that old stuff. Commend the people that play the game regularly on PlayStation, as it runs like ass. It does. it's the people that are playing it real often on PlayStation. A lot of them don't. They've never played it or seen it played on anything else, so they don't understand how ass it is. I really, at some point, I need to try to find that live stream VOD of me rage quitting on PlayStation. I may have even deleted it. I'm not sure. I could have potentially deleted it. Where? Oh, there they go. Like, we all hit G. Why are the mobs not there? It feels like the game wasn't ready for PlayStation. And it's always been that way. It's not that it's like one update ruined PlayStation or whatever. PlayStation has always had more bugs. It's always had more issues. Like from the day that it was first available on PlayStation many, many years ago. Uh-oh. Cannon Ogre. Somebody got to get to the Cannon Ogre. I didn't get my Sparkle Party off in time. Oof. Man, that was ugly. Well, we made it. We good, we good. It's not, though. Even when you compare it, if you play it on PC, on a decent PC, and then you play it on Xbox, you'll be like, oh my god, this is what people are talking about. I mean, it's literally just no comparison at all. It's a massive, massive difference. And on Xbox, it runs better than it does on PlayStation. It's just that I mean, it's a good thing, because it doesn't trigger you. But when you're used to playing it at a low frame rate, you don't notice it. When you're used to playing it at a high frame rate, and then you switch over to that lower frame rate, it's like, oh my god, what the heck is going on here? You know? I'm gonna run out of mana here. See if I can get some of it back. Siege Roller, hopefully, Siege Roller's on my lane, so it'll be fine. It's really hard for me. I know that I'm very vocal about it. But remember, I'm playing the game at, 120, 140 frames per second most of the time. And then I switch over to Xbox or PlayStation and it drops down to 28, 30. It's like, oh. It just feels like such a different game, you know? Oh wow, there's like no mana. I'm gonna have to sell and cycle through on this whole wave. There we go. That'll work. Yeah, I mean, an Xbox, the higher version of the Xbox and like the PS4 Pro, like people that play on the PS4 that use the PS4 Pro, they're like, what do you mean? There's no problems, but it's the vanilla PlayStation players, which is like me. You know, I don't have a fancy PlayStation. I got a vanilla one. I got the old school PlayStation that came out right when PlayStation was released, you know. So the higher, you know, the what's the Xbox One X? Like a PS4 Pro or Xbox One X, the game will run fine on, you know. I mean, it's still going to have issues and like Lost Temple in certain places. Slim is like a vanilla or a vanilla PlayStation. Yeah, you don't have the problems us plebes have there, Thaden. We don't have that fancy Xbox that you got, man. Yeah, Lost Temple is screwed on all platforms. People on PlayStation, though, say that, like, people with a vanilla PlayStation say it's unplayable, though. Not, like, just bad, but just non-functioning. What's up, Rect? In true form, Rect is here right at the end of the stream. Rect said hi. Guess what that means? I'll do one more power surge for anybody that still wants to do a power surge. But then I'm going to have to get the real life going on. In fact, let me get a sip of my coffee here. Alright. Anybody selling anything? Wow. Or that was shinies. For some reason, I thought I saw plain motes there for 1.5 million. It's like, I don't need them, but that's just too good of a deal. Nothing for sale. Alright, let's do that one more time. Once again, feel free to hop in if you still need this map. I know a lot of people did. And either drop me the mana throughout the course of the whole map, or take a lane. Either or. I'll say please this time. It's the nice juice. See, I've never had it be unplayable on PC. Now, that's not always true. In the old Onslaught, the 3 maps per floor Onslaught, I had many crashes. That was the worst era in the entire game. Shiv will probably take that lane. It looks like he's taking that lane. Alright, well, I think we're good then. I'm sorry, Shiv. Habits. Old habits die hard, man. You got all the mana. Oh, I'll be playing on all platforms once DD2 comes, Sincero. That's one of the reasons I'm so excited about it. Alright, Shiv, I won't take your lane. I won't be rude. Looks like the Frostfire is getting the better of them there. Just gonna have to Frostfire this lane. I don't really have the mana to be building. Oh, it sounds like you just need to turn something down then, Tim. I mean, if you've got that machine in your... I mean, I'd never... Like, the lowest I ever drop is maybe 50 or 60 frames. Thanks, Sarah Michael and Bike. Appreciate it. And I don't have that, you know... I don't have a 1080 Ti. I actually... I was using a 1070 and it blew up. So right now I'm using an RX 580. Just to try to limp by until I can come up with some money to get a new graphics card. Things are so damn expensive, man. GPUs are... Thanks, cryptocurrency miners. They were already expensive before you all got a hold of them. It was bad enough before. If I was just starting in gaming, I personally would probably go console. It's so much less of an investment. But on that same note, then I would have to add a PC into the mix for streaming and stuff. But I've been a PC gamer for a long, long time. Oh, I'll definitely be playing Awakened there, Mike. Heavily. I mean, I've already got a couple of 100 hours into the beta. I'm hoping we get a beta update here soon. I'll have a different day for every platform on DDA, Kregus. It's one of the beauties of that cross-save. I'll have PlayStation Day, Xbox Day, Switch Day, PC Day. I'll be playing on every single platform. Get wrecked, Rolla. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, I've said this a bazillion times, but that's the future of gaming. Cross-play, cross-saves. I mean, that's what the gaming world needs. That stuff would be just absolutely amazing if every co-op game, literally every single co-op game, needs to have cross-save and cross-platform. It just needs to happen. It would be just the ultimate experience for all players. It would benefit players of all consoles. Yeah, PS5 will be out next year. Or this year. Derp. Next year has arrived. Alright, take it easy, Face. Thanks for swinging by. This is going to be the last map. I just wanted to get it done one more time because I know a lot of people needed it. Siege Roller taking the slow road here. Well, Epic's been a big part of that, no doubt. Is he stuck? Oh, he's stuck. That's alright, we get him. Beacon of the Storm, splashback for the win. It is a hefty price for a console, but you compare that to a PC. I mean, I spend more than that every year on my PC. Or maybe not more than that, but I spend that at least every single year. I mean, I would be spending it right now. Like I said, I need a new GPU. I actually need to redo my entire system, but that's just a lot of money. You know, a lot of money I don't have. That's the same thing with me, Tim. I don't, you know, just a siege roller left. That don't matter, it's wave 5. I don't, what platform it's on. If I want to play the game, I'm going to play the game, you know. So it doesn't, I mean, if I had my preference, I wouldn't have a bazillion game launchers going on. But if it's required, then to me it's required. You know, you just do it. I don't have... I've got lots of hate for Epic on what they did with Fortnite. But I don't have any hate for Epic as far as their storefront. I mean, hell, I picked up so many damn Epic games over the last couple of weeks with that holiday promotion thing they got going on that... I mean, I'm just going to be using it. It's just how it is. There was a lot of free games that are really good. Well, see, that's the thing, is there's launchers like that, but the problem with those launchers is they're still running the other apps. They're still, like, in the background. They've got that other app going. Man, not a single decent item all day. I got this, the Dragonist staff. That's actually a keeper. I got a weapon that's a keeper. Oh my god. It's not got a terrible hero health roll on it. If I ever wanted a hero damage apprentice or adept, which I can't really see wanting anytime in the near future, but if I ever did want one, I've got a weapon for her/him. Well, I mean, it's burst shot, but it's free chaos aid. I'll take it. What the heck? Oh, okay. Like, how on earth did that happen? I'm going to leave that Sparkle Party in this bag up front. That way I don't constantly lose it. Anyway, y'all. That is going to get it for today. I wanted to do all the primes for today, so what I'm going to do is tomorrow I'll do prime 4, 5, and 6 with everybody. So swing back by tomorrow. I'll try to get going a little bit earlier if possible. But tomorrow I'll be doing 4, 5, and 6. But that is going to get it for today, as I've got to do real life. And, you know, real life's got to happen. Have found any 5 per second? No, there's no 5 per seconds. Actually, there is apprentice staffs that go higher. But as far as the monk and the huntress and... Yeah, as far as the monk and the huntress, it's just 4 per second. But anyway, thanks a ton, everybody. Hopefully everybody's having a great week. And swing back by tomorrow. I'll be doing Prime 4, 5, and 6, and looking forward to it. So thank you all a ton, and I will see you all next time. Take it easy.